Hello, hello. Thank you for coming on, Linda. I don't know how many's going to make it today, but thank you. By the way, I have taken my medicine. I'll give you a live update here, sweetie. I have 17,738 steps, and I've kept my feet elevated. So we came on live today. We were going to do a 6 o'clock show today, and the weather outside is really gloomy, and reports are we're going to have a very bad storm. So I didn't want to take the chance of not getting it in, and it's really going to disappoint me. Thank you, Linda. It's really going to disappoint me also because the Bears play tonight, and I'm hoping we don't lose the power so we lose the TV. But you know what? If we do, we do. It's not a big deal. We'll sit in the dark. So me and Ron had a experience. It's getting chilly at night, so Ron wanted his hi, Bill Woods. Ron wanted his furnace turned on. Well, we just had a brand new furnace put in last year when Ron went to the hospital, and we couldn't get it to turn on. I called my son Brandon to come down, see if he could help us. He couldn't help us. So I called the place, Bradbury's, where we got it, and they said, we'll be there Monday at 8 o'clock in the morning. Well, I don't set an alarm. Guys, I worked in a factory. I worked in a factory for almost 30 years. I worked in a workforce for 45 years or so. If you go back to when I started passing papers and walking beans and everything, since I was 6 years old. But here's the deal. I never set an alarm clock. When I got married on April 9th, 1983, we took a week off, did a little bit of traveling, nothing much, went down to her grandparents' house. But we did this, and I was always up early, and when everybody else was down there sleeping, I'm out doing the chores for Gramps. I'm doing everything so me and him can go hang out. But I never set an alarm clock, and I never had no trouble getting up. Hi, Jeffrey. Hi, Vicky. Never had any trouble. But now that I've retired, I sleep as long as I want for as much as I want, and I go to bed late. And I was worried I was going to oversleep today, so I didn't get much sleep last night. Ron's on. And it's a funny thing because here they're supposed to be here at 8, and they call me at 1 minute after 7 and says, you at the house? I said, no, but I can be there in 5 minutes. I still had to get up and pee. I had to get dressed. And I made it down to Ron's house in 3.5 minutes. And he got his furnace fixed. All it was where you turn the heat up and down at, the batteries were dead. We didn't even know batteries was in it, man. Where we come from a family that had wood burning stoves and coal and fuel oil. We never had furnaces. We didn't know none of this stuff. You know how you knew how hot it was in the house? You had a thermometer in the house. It wasn't none of this digital stuff. And we're going to cover some of that stuff later, but I'm glad to see some people coming on. We got 24 on. Jeremy's here, and Justin and Linda, Ron and Johnny, Vicky, Bill Woods, 20, still 24 over here. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and say the pledge, and then I'm going to play the music, and then we're going to come back and do this show. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, where the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. peaks of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, oh, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, oh, and I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died who gave that right to me, and I'm ready to stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no time enough this land. God bless the USA.
I said to Hank, did she just get up and sit? Not the Hank, she just got up and got talking. Yes, God bless the USA. Wow, people don't like my song. We lost 2 people while I played the song. So I'm gonna go jump into the kids real quick because
Wireless tail lights for a trailer.
we're gonna. I really got some things I want to talk to. One thing especially, talk to kids. And when I talk to them, I'm talking to them because I really believe what I'm about to say. But Super Jimmy, I hope you had a great weekend. I'm glad we got the situation taken care of. I knew we would once I got a hold of your daddy and that. And then, hi, Lynn. Everything's good. And we're getting ready to rock and roll, buddy. Patriots 11. You must be just got too many girlfriends to say hi anymore. But that's Zoe. Hi, Karen. But that's okay. Patriot Wyatt Earp and Patriot Karate Kid. Yeah, I was talking the other day, and Patriot Small Hank looked at me and says, "Why ain't I Patriot Karate Kid?" I said, "Maybe I'll start calling you instead of Small Hank. I'll call you Patriot Martial Arts." Because he doesn't say he's doing karate. To him, it's martial arts. And I said, it's all Mr. Miyagi eyes. Look eyes. You got to look eyes. And I'll look eyes, and I'll get him looking eyes. And all of a sudden, I'll reach out and slap him one alongside his head. So you got to look and be prepared for everything. Well, I said, you need to sit down and watch Karate Kid about 4 times. I said, there's a girl that plays in Karate Kid, kick your butt. But no, he's doing really good. We babysat him Friday night, me and Ron. And he's losing weight, and he's getting taller. It's a good looking boy. But you guys, tell your mommy I said hi, or Michelle, you should hear it, and tell the kids I said hi. Patriot Princess, our queen. As I said, there's a lady on Telegram that goes by Patriot Princess, and I use a lot of her information. I'm going to use some today in the show, but she's Patriot Princess. Your Patriot Princess, our queen. And then we have Hunter, who he's a good kid. Can't wait to see him. Maybe play some catch with him. We'll show you, Princess, how us guys can still do it. So anybody else come on? Yep, Jimmy Garcia is on. Hello, everybody. And anyway, then we have Bugs, Boogaloo, Boogero, and Boogie, our Patriots from John, his grandkids. And I noticed, I haven't had a chance to look at them, but I noticed I had some messages. So that usually means John sent me some updated pictures. Patriot little Leona, who, and what a little kid. I mean, what a doll. The song to know her is to love her. I'm telling you. But truthfully, that's all of the kids here. They're all so special to me and to Ron. Patriot, little Elan. Like I said, I don't see much of her. Today I went to Facebook just briefly because my daughter had posted a picture about Patriot 7. They couldn't find him in the house. And they looked outside and in the yard. He's out practicing his kicking because on his football team that he had a game on Saturday and they won the first round. They won 14-0 against my alma mater, Hersher, which, it doesn't bother me a bit. I even wore a Clifton shirt. But he practices, and he's a good little running back too. And on defense, he had probably the best game he's had at like 7 or 8 tackles, but they weren't tackles that somebody else hit the kid and then he got in it. He had 3 or 4 one-on-one tackles. He either makes a tackle or playing over there on the corner. If the kid gets by him, he turns the corner and he's gone. So he had a very good game. I'm proud of him. They play again this coming Saturday. Boy, talk about a screwed up league they play in. Clifton is playing Moments, and they're playing it in Dwight. Dwight from me is 20 miles. So from Moments, it's about 50 or 55 miles. And from Clifton, it's about 45 or 50. And I'm thinking, what kind of setup is it? Dwight don't even have a team in there. Only thing I can think of is just like everything else. Dwight wanted some games over there. Money talks. Bull crap walks. So, I'm rooting for him and hoping he continues to play well. Patriots super gymnast. My daughter posted a picture today. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. I don't know if I can. Bear with me. Here's Patriot super gymnast when she was 3 weeks old and now today. Yes, she was a cutie then and she is now. Here's Liam. The thing I'll say about these boys, and I'm not much in for it, because when I was in school, if we'd have wore anything pink, we'd have been considered a sissy. But now with pink being the color for cancer and cancer awareness, the kids are getting involved in it. This is Liam getting ready for involved in his football game for Cancer Awareness Week on Saturday. He had pink socks. But he wasn't the only one. About 3/4 of the team. I won't say they all did their hair, which naturally the little monkey had to get her hair done in pink also. This is the picture me and him got taken. I told him I should have got my head pink, but no one asked me. One thing I like about these kids is this is how they march into the game every week. Oh. Every week. Let's go. They believe in America. They believe in the USA. And right there alone is enough for me. So, that being said, and Patriot little monkey, she had another test of her allergies and went to the doctor. Doctor gave her a little bit of medicine, and at the football game Saturday, she was all over the place. And little Kira, as I said, me and Ron babysat small Hank and Kira Friday night. I brought him down here to Ron's for a while, and I'm telling you, you thought they was the best 2 friends in the world, her and Ron. I mean, giving him hugs, giving him kisses, just playing with him, teasing him. I don't know if he watched any TV all the while they were down here. He had it on, but I don't know if he watched any. So that being said, uh-oh.
We lose it?
No. But I lost you. This ain't good. My show is on. Ron, send me a message. I don't care what you send me, but I got to see if I can get that back up.
Hello, Ralph.
Did you send it?
Yeah.
I didn't get it.
Oh.
Ooh, show might not be good today, guys. Somehow I lost the stuff I was going to talk about. Ron's.
Oh. Oh, you want me to send you one there?
Yeah. Okay, I think I got it now. Okay, I got it. Okay. So anyway, it pretty much concludes the kids. Did I miss anybody on here? Virginia, good to see you. Jimmy. Okay. Now, kids, before I let you go and quit talking about you, I want to talk about this past weekend. For the last 3 weeks, I have been talking to you about getting out and play. Get off the computers, get outside, enjoy the weather. Now, there's several reasons why I've been doing this. Because number one, a kid doesn't need to be on a computer, a tablet, or a cell phone. He needs to be outside playing, hanging out with his friends. That's number one reason. Number two, the weather's still nice. You can get outside. You know what's going to happen, kids? We're going to start getting really, really cold weather. And you're going to say, well, I wish I could go outside. Why you didn't go outside when you had a chance to? But the main reason I wanted you to get out, and I started this 3 weeks ago, because if you go back and look a month ago, I made a statement. Within a month, we're going to be done with this. We're going to be doing the things we want to do. It's going to be over. And I truthfully, kids, believe, and everybody else listening, I believe with all my heart that the majority of everything is going to get done. Is it going to get completely done? No. But what if we go into the 10 days of darkness this week? What if we go into that and you can't go outside and play? You can't go to your friend's house and play. You can't talk on the telephone because you don't have one. That's what I was trying to get you to get out and do, because you're going to see what it's like when you're sitting in the house watching 8-hour videos with mom and dad, or laying in your bed wondering, why can't I go outside and play? That's what I was doing, guys. I was preparing you the same way I'm trying to prepare all the adults here. I must be doing a really bad show. I'm sorry. I was hoping I was going to do a good one. I must be doing a really bad one, because we went from 25 down to 19. I guess they say the average people only come on for a minute and a half or two. But you know what? We don't worry about the numbers. We worry about the people's here, Linda and Jimmy, Karen, Lynn, Bill, Jeremy, Vicky. Did I miss anybody? Ian. And then there's Ron. Virginia, good afternoon, everyone. TY, God, you're all okay. Anyway, that concludes the kids portion. Oh, boy, I said that, and we jump back up to 25. Anyway, the kids just, until you know something, you get home from school, you don't even have school, they go out and play. Jimmy, I'm not saying you not to post anything, but I prefer if you didn't now, from now until dark, I prefer you don't post anything, because you go outside and play. I don't care if you just go outside and sit in a chair and enjoy the afternoon. Just get away from the social media. Get away from all of this stuff. Kids, you don't need it. You don't need it. But like I said, this does conclude the, oh, wow. This does conclude the kids portion. Remember, kids, this video is not made for you. As a matter of fact, I prefer you not watch it unless you have the permission from your parents, grandparents, or legal guardians, someone that will take the pressure off of me and I don't get in trouble if you guys get in trouble. But anyway, also anything I say in here about money, I am not a financial advisor. I am not a financial advisor. I am going to be talking about XRP, and I'm going to tell you people, everyone here, what I think, but I am not a financial advisor. And the music and any other thing that I use on here today from the internet is for entertainment purposes only. We have no legal rights to it. We just use it for entertainment purposes. The music has been our theme song since we started doing the shows. And then that hat had to go out and copycat us, you know. But he wins because, you know, he dances and that, but not to that song. But anyway, where are we on this Monday? This Monday holiday. I think we're sitting really good. Guys, if you didn't, I'm honest to goodness gracious. I left here last night. I leave Ron's at pretty much every night between 10 o'clock and quarter after. On Sunday, I usually stay until 10:30 because I watch the sports recap that they have, a special one every Sunday night with Ron. But last night they had the baseball game on, and there was no sports show, so I was leaving it. Well, there was no sports show at 10 o'clock, so I was leaving right at 10. I made sure everything was done here. And as I was going out the door, Ron turned on fake news, you know, the stuff we don't really watch. But the reason he turned it on was because he was seeing if the sports news was on. And the guy comes on, and a guy with a heavy voice, and you don't hear this from people on the TV too much. The man with a heavy voice and a smile on his face. And when I mean heavy, fighting back tears, I thought. And he hit me. He says, within minutes, folks, we are waiting for the special announcement that they are releasing the prisoners. Man, it hit me, and I had to leave because I didn't want Ron to hit me. When he said that, the way he said it, the emotion he said it, I walked down his ramp to go to my car to get my little dog in the car, and I had tears in my eyes because finally something was going to happen. But yet, he's bringing guys home that's been prisoners for years, guys and women, troops, whatever. He stopped 7 wars, but someone else was more deserving of the Nobel Peace Prize than him. Kids, put your muffin ears on. Put your muffin ears on. I'm going to count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's total bullshit. But then again, I think it was Tim Rice and a couple of other people posted, that's okay. He didn't want it because it's a cabal gift. It's just like all of these awards. Look at the people winning these awards in country music. If Taylor Swift is a country music singer, I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. Huh?
Then you're singing.
Yeah. I said I was Popeye the Sailor Man. Ron said, if Taylor Swift is a country western singer, then by goodness gracious, I'm going to be right there with Wolvie and we're singing the opera. Oh, if like you guys, you do not want to hear me try to sing the opera. I mean, I got nothing against Taylor Swift other than I don't think she's, I'm not going to give opinion because I love doing my show. And my opinions, because I'm going to tell you about my opinions here in a few minutes. Got me a strike. Got my video taken down on another site. And I'm going to tell you what I did. Yesterday, talking about Taylor Swift. Yesterday, the Kansas City Chiefs played. Who did they play? Detroit Lions. And Detroit Lions is so much better than the Kansas City Chiefs, but they lost. You know why they lost? Oh, they go in for a touchdown. Oh, there's a penalty. Where? Then you see Patrick Mahomes running up the sideline, yelling at the officials, there's a penalty. And then all of a sudden, after the play's dead, touchdown is called, boom, the flag is thrown. There's a penalty. They only had to settle for a field goal. This is the honest to goodness truth, guys. It's on video. Today I'm watching a video and the man saying, oh, the Kansas City refs. Kansas City never got one penalty in a whole game, but he showed 4 different places where Kansas City's defense was lined up off sides. Never once was it called. Now, if you know anything about football, it's a lot easier to play football when you're already someplace that's supposed to take you a step or two to get to. When that offensive lineman's coming up to make the block and you're already past him because you had the head start, it's a lot easier. And, you know, I don't care. I'm going to give you my reason why, because I don't think there'll be a Super Bowl this year. If there is, I think we should all, if you watch it, which some will, some won't, some do, some don't. But I think we should get out there that anybody who watches the game at halftime should turn their TVs off. If they're going to let that guy go out there and perform in a dress, that is a disgrace. Football is a man's game. And don't get me wrong, there's women that play it in high school, and I think there's even been 1 or 2 played it in college as kickers. But it's a man's game. Those men out there, they sweat on each other. They spit on each other. They hit each other hard. And to have a guy come out in a dress, hat, if you allow that to happen, oh, I might come and run right along the old choppers. But anyway, it is what it is. And I know most of you are going to say, I ain't watching it. Hi, Maria. Hi, John. Hi, Ann. Hi, Sensi. Ooh, Sensi, you must have been bad. Hi, Dan. Dan, you must have been bad too. Did you get it? Is Janet on today?
No.
Well, this was a kind of a quickie. But anyway, there's where we're at, guys. And I truthfully, as I was talking to the kids, I truthfully believe this week's going to happen. Why? Well, save them for last. Save who for last? Who are we saving for last? Wasn't it Israel? Well, we have peace treaty now. What's that tell you? And like I said, I've been saying this for quite a while now. I started a month ago saying that we would have this done in a month. The whole thing is if it doesn't go this week, I'll say the same thing next week as I said 5 weeks ago. But see, the thing is I believe and I won't give up the believing. I will not surrender. I will not give in. I will not comply. I will not take that in the arm. And that's what really cracked me up, guys. You hear about the hat. He went and got the shot, the thing in the arm. He went and got that thing in the arm. And think, how many times have we seen this man stand up there and say, there's no way he would do that? How is he going to preach and preach and preach that there's no way he's going to do that? Betty Woods, good to see you here. Maria, good to see you. Do you really think he did? But there's so much talk right now. I mentioned Tim Rice a little bit ago. Tim is a very intelligent young man. He's a veteran. Thank you for your service, Tim. He's a veteran who went through a lot. He's had it rough. He's had it good. Typical, everyday person like we are. But today he made a post. And when he did, it bit me right in the butt, if you know what I mean. It just, And the post was, the hat should be leaving stage right very soon. And I'm not saying he is. I'm not saying he's not. I don't know. If I knew, I'd be making a lot of money. But I don't know. But see, here's what I don't understand. So many people have got the hat leaving. So many people's got another person who's maybe playing the hat. And that may be. But how do you post here all weekend long that everything he's accomplishing goes this way? I listened to something the other day, and they was talking about when he talked, he did not call himself the president. And when you think, the only times I can remember hearing himself say he was the president is I seen a video the other day that he was golfing with Kai, his granddaughter. And it was funny because Kai talked him into playing best ball. Now, for you people who's not familiar with golf, best ball is there was two of them playing. Kai hits her shot. The hat hits his shot. Whoever's got the best shot for the second shot, they play their ball. So they'll say Kai hits and they play her ball. She hits first and she hits. Then the hat drops his ball and plays it from the same place. And he even made a statement, boy, it's a lot of fun. I'd never played this before. And wow. When me and Ron used to play a lot of golf, there'd be nights that we didn't have much time to play. So we rode in a cart, and that's what we did. We played best ball, and people go, boy, you're fast. Well, we're playing best ball. Well, why are you doing that? Because we wanted to get the 9 holes or 18 holes in. Heck, there's some nights we'd get 27 holes in when we didn't even know if we'd get 9 in because and there's no one ahead of us. Then we go drink, have some fruit juices. And I'm not lying. I used to drink vodka and orange juice or cranberry juice. No, I'm just kidding. I don't drink much anymore. I'm sorry. I think that was God taking over. But, I've never heard him say he's the president until he was talking to her the other day. Now, I've heard people say, hey, Mr. President. Hello, Mr. President. But normally you hear him say, I'm the commander in chief. And we all know why he says that because, soon things are going to happen. They're going to have 120 days to very nicely elect a new president. But, we're going to be operating at what? 90% capabilities of what we do now with people. And then this is something that just rips my rear end, something like you wouldn't believe. When I hear this senator goes, and by the way, have you heard a lot of senators have disappeared? Where have all the senators gone? Long time passing. Where have all the senators gone? A long, long time ago. I'm going to get Mo. And I shouldn't have said that, but I couldn't resist it. No, guys, we're going to come back at about 90% capacity, and we're going to elect a president. I don't think it'll be him. Not because he's going to be gone, and he may be. Patriot savior. She seems to really believe that. Hi, Larry Smith, Tony. Yes, Larry. Guys, read what Larry just said. I don't want to read it on here. But yes, I've heard that too, Larry. Yes, he's the good hat when he does the good stuff, but it's the ball hat when he doesn't. Yes. And we all know that there's several. But here's my thing. And when Tim Rice posted this today, that he's going to be exiting left, and I've heard that Junior, other people is going to be coming in, maybe even Senior. That would make my day. I'm telling you, you'll hear a scream from around the world the day they announce he's still with us, if he still is. I never did believe it. Got a video taken down on TikTok because I didn't believe it. I'll explain that in a few minutes. But, just give a thumbs up. Anyone listening? Wow, 68 people. Thank you. Give a thumbs up if you've heard that him, along with 2 or 3 other people, are going to be known as what's called the kings of the world. I have. First, I heard it was just going to be him, and then I heard it was going to be 2 or 3 other ones because it's just too big of a job. But they're not going to be kings like the ones that they had in England. Kids can be safe. Boy, what about Melania the other day? Did you hear her speech? I'm not even going to go into that because I didn't think I could love her any more than I did until I seen her speak the other day. Hey, Gordon, Herman. But it guys, it is what it is, and I just believe that this is our week. I really do. I believe the finish line. I actually think that they put a wall behind the finish line, and people always say, "Well, what do you mean?" They put a wall behind it. Well, see, they give enough room that we can get our tiptoes over it. But they don't give enough room that they can move it back anymore. I think the finish line is where it's going to be. I think we're ready to go into where we're going to go. Now, I don't hide the fact that I talk to God every day. And I was talking to Julia about it the other day, and she says, "Oh, what you're telling me, you said I could see me standing right next to you, holding your hand and listening to you, and then giving my version of it too." That's when my life changed, guys, is when I put him and Jesus Christ in it. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you what to do. That's not me. I mean, they've always been in it, but not the right way. It took Mr. Pillow to open my eyes to where they needed to be. Beyond the good and the bad, there is a field. I'll meet you there. Now, John, you're going to stay in a good field. So Ron just sent this over. I haven't read it, so it's going to be new to me too, but he said it was good to read it. Boom! The Great Reclamation has begun. The Supreme Court just restored the HAT's constitutional power to remove rogue and commissioners from the federal agencies. For the first time in 90 years, the president can clean house. The walls of bureaucratic tyranny are cracking. Since 1935, the presidency has been a hostage, a hiding ruling called Humphrey's Executor 5 with a V, not a 5, but a V. United States created a shield around unelected bureaucrats buried inside so-called independent agencies. They could not be fired, not by Congress, not by the people, not even by the commander-in-chief. These were the deep state's castles inside the government, protected, untouchable, writing rules with the power of law while answering to no one. For decades, they dictated policies, destroyed accountability, and made every president a figurehead in his own house. That ended this week in a ruling few expected, but history will never forget. The Supreme Court confirmed that President the Hat has full constitutional authority to remove Democratic commissions. Mary, and then he gives names, I'm not going to read them. but there are several of them. The court reminded the nation that executive power belongs to the president alone, not to agencies, not to boards, not to uh, faceless lawyers. The 6-3 decision has detonated the foundation of the bureaucratic immunity. Man, them's three hard words in a row to read. The hat now can terminate any commissioner whose objects reform, dismantle ideological or mandates and reclaim executive control over agencies that have operated like private empires. The ruling set a precedent that can sweep through every corner of the federal maze. And then it has the FTC, SEC, NLRB, CDC, FDA, DOA, hundreds of unselected operators. And then this is very lengthy, guys. I'm not going to read anymore. I think I've read enough to see what is going on here. This is something that I wanted to read because this is something that I really, really like. There's this beautiful young lady. Oh, see if they put her picture up again. This beautiful young lady here, this is what she says. And I really like this. After 10 years living in the USA, today I earned my American citizenship. I was the first in my family to migrate, moved here alone. All in capital letters, I am proud American woman. This is how you do it. Shout outs. You come in correctly, you do what you're supposed to do, and you do the things that need to be done the right way. Everybody can become an American citizen if they do it the right way. I really, really like that. Um, okay. ADRENOCROME. You guys got that? Hey, Janet, good to see you. Janet, can you write that word in the chat so people will see it? ADRENOCROME. I don't want to say it. Okay. Thank you. Guys, look at that word because I'm going to use the word, I don't know, medicine. So whenever I say the word medicine, that's what I'm saying. Why is the Red Cross involved with hostages being released from Gaza? Red Cross equals medicine. Think Red October, think children. GITMO getting cameras ready. You know what? I'll tell you something I heard. You guys can listen or not. It's up to you. Something I heard about that place at GITMO. I heard they're going to have a lot of people hanging around here pretty soon. That's my own personal joke. Here's one. President the Hat walking up steps on a windy day and holding a umbrella, definitely a comet. It was a black umbrella. So I did this is a princess, Patriot princess. I did a gematria for her. Holding a black umbrella is a Elon Musk plan, and these are all 182. The storm is here, 182. Snug as a bug on a rug, 182. Hidden in plain sight, 182. The divine triangle, 182. Mirror, mirror, 182. The book of creation, 182. Black plague is next, 182. I don't understand, 182. Listen carefully, 182. Impersonators, 182. Highest level ever, 182. You can't touch this, 182. And there's another one there, but I didn't do it right. Then there's one, be my superhero. Or no, my superhero. 163. Make America Great Again, 163. Jeffrey Epstein, 163. Barack Hussein Obama, 163. Box of Chocolates, 163. Jesus is Coming, 163. EBS Tomorrow, 163. Charles James Kirk, 163. The King is Coming, 163. Treason is starts with a B, but it sounds like witch. 163, the war is over. 163. Now, guys, I'm reading these to you because, see, if you listen to that, who is a main player in this show? Who is a main player in this show who got taken away for a little while? Charlie Kirk. Who is another main player? My superhero. Who do we consider a superhero? To me, a superhero is someone who gets something done. And as much as some people on some sides don't like to admit it, the hat is going to go down as a superhero. Then they also say in this thing, make America great again. Isn't that what we're trying to do? But then there's some bad things in there, like Jeffrey Epstein, Barack Hussein Obama. You could even go a little bit further with something bad. Box of chocolates. Remember the saying? Life is like a box of chocolates. How is this guy? Jesus is coming. EBS tomorrow. It's all things we're waiting for, guys. The King is coming. And treason, as these people are going to find out, treason is a witch with a B. And what just happened? What just happened? The last one of that. The war is over. You know, it's hard to do because Ann, Janet, Gordon, Mac, Herman, I don't think I said hi to you yet. Larry, trying to get everybody's here. I can see. Wouldn't you agree? When you listen to the hat speak or you listen to someone speaking, don't you want to know what they're saying? Don't you want to know exactly what they're saying instead of having to figure it out? That's why I encourage everybody, if you're on Telegram, go to Patriot Princess. Just Google her on there and request to join her program. I get nothing out of this if you do. I mean, I wish I could put thousands. This lady opens your eyes. I've known how to do the gematria for a long time. But doing it and understanding it is two different things. And I didn't understand it until she explained it one day, and it really helped me. Let me go back here to Messenger and see what else we got. don't think we have a whole lot more. Well, yes, we do a little bit here, and I'm going to talk about it. There's a guy that goes by Donnie, and Ron got me involved listening to him, and he does these talks and answers questions and that. And, you know, last week I told everybody, and remember I said earlier, I am not a financial advisor. I'm just telling you my feelings. Hi, Papa G. The Bears, let's hope. But anyway, I just give you my opinions. And I told everybody, I said, guys, if you got $25 or $50, go buy as much XRP as you can. You know, go to Upholder. I'll give you a link to go to Uphold. You open an account. If you can afford 25, you can afford 50. At the time, it was $2.50. I said, if you can do it, go do it. Even if you only get 10, if you get 20. I mean, I've heard from so many people over the weekend that probably by the end of this month or mid-month next month, XRP is probably going to be at least $10,000 to $15,000. Most of the time they're saying $11,628. But see, I'm the type of person that I don't tell someone, hey, you should do this. Now, Ron and me, we didn't need to do it, but we both took around $200. Actually, I took it all because I got my account set up that I took the money out of my checking account. And I got to go write a check on him to put it back in there. But anyway, we both took a little over $200. And we ended up getting a little over 200 more. And the reason we did it, not because we needed, because we had more than enough, but the reason we did it was because I mentioned to you guys, you should do it if you can. Now, if you can, don't go out and take money you don't have or money that you might need to do it. But I bought all of it, the 200 of them. And it's went back up. And since it has, on the first one that I bought 100 of, in just a few days, it's went up 17 cents. The other one, it's went up 13 cents because I bought it just a little bit later. So, yeah, it doesn't sound like a lot of money. $17 we made profit on one, 13 on the other, $30 over the weekend that, you know, we wasn't using the money. And it's very seldom we have extra left, but we did so happen to on that particular day. And if you did, I commend you. And the whole thing is I didn't see it. Boy, wish I would have caught it then. But I have a friend who she was really monitoring it that weekend. And it dropped down as low as $2.02. Now, people say, well, if it's such a good buy, why is it dropping down? It's dropping down. It's keeping down like this right now for a little while because they're giving people a chance. I went and checked, and we have quite a bit. And for everything we have, we've averaged about 78 cents for each one we bought. And that's only because we spent over $2 for these ones the other day. We was only averaging about 30 to 35 cents for every one we bought. But I'm just trying to help people who would like to have a little extra money. Another reason me and Ron did this is because if it does go up, we don't plan on selling ours at 10,000. We want to see if it actually is going to hit the one. But the 200 that we bought the other day, if it goes to 10,000, even 5,000, we're going to be cashing some of them 200 in because them are just extras. Them are something that we bought so we could have some money early because it might take 6 months to get to 100,000. But let's play a game. What if? And that's the thing I'm going to close the show on today. What if it does go as high as Bitcoin? I've been there, guys. I've been in that revolution, and I flunked. I flunked bad. I had a chance to buy Bitcoin at 1/2 penny a piece. I didn't do it. I invested in Iraqi and dinar. Hey, you know, if I would have took the money that me and Ron spent on dinar, if I'd have took that money that we invested on it, we'd be rich to rich. We never got involved in patriotism like this. We've always been patriotisms, since 2008. We really got involved in it. But I wouldn't be doing shows. I'd be one of those snobs that I don't need that. I got money. I don't need that. One of those people who have, so what? There's people on the street. Makes me sick when there's people on the street don't have anything. Wow. It just makes me sick. And that's what makes me sick also. Ralph, they will say this will be. Yes, I've heard that. It went over 51 again. But, I was listening, Larry, I was listening to someone last night, and they said what really turned this on is when silver went back, when it went up, but then it went back down under the 50. And that's what really, because see, here's the thing I learned. Every time gold and silver goes up a penny, a nickel, a dime, it costs the banks millions of dollars because they have to back their gold because that has backing. See, this currency doesn't. And they was talking on this last night about whenever it goes up a penny, a nickel, it costs the banks millions. And there's going to be breaking these banks. They was also talking about there were four or five world banks. But truthfully, there's most of the countries, 189 countries, has decided to only go with this one world bank because the other world banks would not go and get complied. They wouldn't do what they needed to do. There's a lot of good things out there, guys. There's a lot of good stuff. And like I said, if you don't belong to Telegram, you need to belong. You need to, you hear me talk. I don't like some of the things that Wolverine does. I don't like that he's under an NDA, but then he comes on and talks because he gets lonely of not being around people. I'm not saying he's not on an NDA, but I'm not going to give you my, hi, Mike. Good, you can make it for the end. But no, Mike's a good guy. How's the baby doing? But anyway, guys, we are this close to witnessing the biggest transformation of money in the history of the world, but it can't be all about money. And when I write Julia, I mean, if she prints every letter out so she can also take it home and read them. And she says my letters here lately on 8x10 or 8x11, whatever a piece of paper is, that you put into a machine. She says she usually goes home with about 8 or 9, sometimes 10 or 11 pages. And her mom will look at her and say, well, how much did he write you today? And she go, well, I got a lot to read again tonight, because she'll read them 2 and 3 times. But I'm telling her so much that she's starting to come back and tell me things. Now, I'm not saying the conflict, or whatever you want to call it, in them 2 countries, one that she lives in and the other one that the little Russian girl lives in. I'm not saying that them 2 countries are at peace. All I'm telling you is in the city that Julia lives, there's, I don't know, 25 to 50,000 people live in that city. It's not a little place. But yet people who live in homes and apartments, condo, whatever, they cannot have their own internet in that city. They have to go to internet cafes, and that's where she goes to write me. Or sometimes she'll write me right from the school she works for. She has a slow day. The person in charge will say, "You going to write your boyfriend today?" And she said, "Yeah." I said, "We'll just use ours." Saves her about a mile walk, because God forbid them have a car in that town. Women get treated. Oh, she is a counselor to children and to children's parents to try to help them. She's been doing this for 15 years. She makes $400 a month, but they're nice. They give her $400 a month, even in the summer when they're not working. $400 a month. And then I hear teachers, some of them doing the same job. Her best friend is a kindergarten teacher. She makes they don't let the women in this town make over $400 a month. Hi, Carrie. Yes, let's speak about special beds. Carrie needs them. We all do. I wanted to talk a little bit about that before we got going and finish the show, because the hat finally came out with a video and admitted they're about ready to open up. Just be careful, guys. If people call you and tell you they can get you on and they ask for money, they're not real. We're all going to, by no later than the first of the year, we're all going to get a chance to get on these beds. This is what I'm hearing. The people who need it the worst, your older people, the people who's on death's door, the people who are really bad, cancer, whatever diseases, the young children who really need them bad, and the people who go to the redemption centers who have Zim. The people who go to the redemption centers who have Zim will be able to give a list of, I've heard, between 10 and 20 people that they will be working with on a regular basis to make sure they're healthy. But the whole thing is, there's so many beds, it's not going to take long to get through all of these people. So, Carrie, if you're one of those that's really bad, I mean, Ron's next door neighbor is a guy I want to get on there something fierce. He can't even live in his house. He's in a nursing home because he can't do nothing. He's got tubes everywhere. I mean, it's a shame. A lot of us need it. But if they're asking for money, do not do it, because they're going to take your money and they're going to run. There's so many people that are still bad, and they're going to be dealt with. Don't worry, they're going to be dealt with. So just be careful. But one of the things I wanted to talk about these special beds is I heard this the other day. And we're going to be able to, like an 80, 70-year-old, whatever person who needs to get on the bed, who goes to get on the bed, they're going to be able to regress. And before I even go into the regressions, I want to talk about the special beds, because even without the regression, me being 71 years old, do I need to regress? I'm going to. But what I need to is if when I get in bed number 1 and bed number 2 and they fix everything with me, I have the heart, because I have degenerative heart failure. So does Ron. We have the heart of a 30-year-old. All of our body organs are of a 30-year-old. Do we need to actually regress to have So we're going to live a long, long time anyway. So I like that. But just to get on the first and second bed, I have a friend that lost his arm from here, right here down. Okay. I promised him we're going to get you on in beds. I was talking to a girl the other day, and she told me her mom's in a hospital, stage 4 cancer. I said, well, as soon as they get her, we're going to get your mom on one of those beds. And the hospital she's in, probably all they're going to have to do is put her on a bed, wheel her to an elevator, go up a floor or two, and just put her on there. Can you imagine if that happens in the middle of the night and she goes in to see her mom the next morning, and her mom is sitting there waiting, saying, well, are we going home or not? Or she gets a phone call, hey, want to come up here? I got a surprise for you. And her mom meets her at the front desk and says, hey, let's go home. I'm free. I'm 100% free. But then the other thing, the regression that really got me, Carrie and Papa G, Janet, Gordon, Larry, Think of this. Hey, Bill, you too. Mike Davis, think of this. Getting on that bed and regressing. And at my age, 70, Ron's age, a little bit older. And now all of a sudden you feel like you're 30. They don't want any of us to go past 30 because they figure 30 is the age where people start acting like adults. You know, they don't want you to go back to 21, 22. Oh, I'd love to go back to 21 or 22. And not have my ex on my arm where I could do things and have fun again. No, when we were dating, we had a great relationship. It was the marriage. We could have dated for 50 years and be happy. Once we got married, she turned into, let's put it this way, Halloween's coming up, and what did them people ride on the brooms? What are they called? So you can imagine. I'm being very nice about it, but it is. But think about it. Having the choice that every year, say we get on the first day of the next year, 2026. By 2027, you can either regressed 1/5 of a year or started to age 1/5 of a year, 1/10 of a year, or 1/20th of a year. And what I mean by that is you're going to get the option from what we've been told. You're going to get the option that you go in, you can say, I want to age 1 year for every 5 years I live. So in 5 years, you would have aged 1 year. And in 25 years, you would have aged 5. So you would go from 30 to 35. But according to Bruce and many others, what if you choose the one in every 20? You'd feel like you was 31 20 years later. In my case, I'd actually be 91, and I'd feel like I'm 31. About the beds, I can remember Jared Rand talking about them. Then I can remember when they came in with all the other new stuff talking about them. And if I was to give you an indication of the improvement in the 15 years that I've been hearing about these, I guess I would have to say, think of the tallest mountain in the world, and it would probably be higher than that. They've improved. Now, take someone like me, Ron, others here. If you have Zim and you're going to do humanitarian projects, and if I can find it again, I did find a list the other day that explained all the humanitarian projects, but you're also going to be able to do your own other ones, like, you know, me wanting to rebuild my town, working with the animals. And, you know, they have stuff like that in there. They just have them named differently. If you have Zim and you don't want to do a humanitarian project, you can donate your money and that will get someone to do it. But just imagine someone like me that, and Ron, that we decide we want to give $1 billion a year for the next 25 years or 50 years for the research to make the beds better. And see, I don't want to do that at first. To me, they're fine right where they're at. But what I want to do...
But at first, what we'll do is do the money to pay the people.
What I want to do is I want to go, and in my town, I want to build a center and have a couple of beds. You know, at least one of each one, maybe two of each one, and build in all the little towns and keep doing this around the world. Now, that's also going to take money because you're going to have to help pay for the people working. So that's what my dream is to do something like that. Now, there's where I live, there's a town 8 miles, a little town 8 miles, another little town about 12 miles, another one about 12 miles, and then another one 4. So I'm kind of centrally located where I could put one in and have 2 or 3 beds of each one in there. And see, they're going to have plenty of beds to get us all in and take care of all of us. But here's the deal. Wouldn't it be nice, Papa G, wouldn't it be nice if once you're on the bed and you're feeling good, a year from the day you went in, you got to go back in. You just get on the first bed. They check you out. As long as everything's fine, you go home with a clean bill of health. But what happens if something did happen during that year? Something unforeseen, because remember, God works in mysterious ways. So you could get on the bed number 2 and get everything fixed. The age regression beds, if everybody's going to get it taken care of, you wouldn't need them all over the place, but to have one here, we have one there. I just think they're an amazing thing. And I'm right there. When I said amazing thing, I looked at the time on the clock, how long I had been on. And when I said that, I tried to say something real quick. I couldn't get it out fast enough because the time on there was 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 11 seconds. With that, I'm going to say, guys, I love yous. We'll be back Wednesday evening. God bless. Look for some major things today, tomorrow. I've read a lot of things between tonight and tomorrow. Something major is going to break. We can't keep going the way we are. It's going to change. We love you. Have a great afternoon and evening, and we'll talk to you soon. Patriot 5, Patriot 6, signing out.